JonnyPink. It's been about 2 weeks now since I had the Z9. Man, shooting that for 4 days straight was so much fun. I have thousands of photos. You know, I dump a lot of them, and I do that when I shoot with this too. So if you hear me shooting, even with this on that whopping 4 frames a second, click, 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 I usually take a series of shots and I go through them, and I don't spend a lot of time on it, but I look at the JPEGs and I pick the ones that are the most clear, and I save the JPEG and the RAW into another folder. I dump everything I don't want, and it usually takes a day or so, but it's just like anything, man. The more you do it, the better you get. And so that's the way I look at it. Plus, it's an absolute blast, and I love spending all of my time doing that. It's fun. For a while, I'm going to go back to Nikon. I'm not pushing aside the R5. I love that camera. I love what it does. I love the clarity. I love how easy it is to use. And I love the R7. That'll be my macro photography camera. Even the M50, they're great cameras. And I think that's one thing that Nikon doesn't have is a great ASPC sensor. Sony does. Canon definitely does. Even the 90D that I'm filming on right now, I think is a fantastic camera. The autofocus is just insane. Again, I didn't get to test the Z9 with the autofocus. I just ran out of time and I didn't have a chance. But what I'm doing for a while is I'm going to go back to my old, this was released, this is my Nikon D800 that was released in 2012. And I was so impressed with the Nikon 200 to 500 lens that I rented to go with the Z9 and adapted to it. I think that was probably one of my more favorite lenses with that, is I bought this. Why? Because it was on sale and I really enjoyed it. So when I was out with the Z9, I go to the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve a lot because it's 20-25 minutes away depending on traffic and if you hit the lights or not. And it's just there's such a diversity of wildlife. It's so much fun to shoot if the light is bright, if it's early morning, it's just fun. And throughout the year as the migratory birds come through, the diversity changes. So I'm really looking forward to shooting a Z9 next summer or whatever else is out, Nikon-wise, shooting dragonflies. My favorite shot, maybe not the greatest technical shot or any of that, but is this one of the dragonfly. It's one of the last ones I shot before I left Sepulveda Basin. Is it an amazing shot? Well, I really like it and I'm really happy. So I think it has a lot of character. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good shot. Two of my favorite shots from the day I was out with this beautiful D800 and the 200 to 500, and yes, I own all of this, and I'm going to be shooting this until this mirror gives out. But you see it over here, this one, there we go, I'm looking at the side screen, but this one right here, this I think was what I used as the cover for my last video. And I'll link that over here if you haven't seen it. And then this one behind me, that one right there, that's a little series that I shot that day that I think James and I were out that day, the morning before. Can I shoot video with this? Yeah, I can. I have to have it on a tripod and I have to manually focus it. And as I said in my last video, one of my favorite things, well, many favorite things about Nikon is that manual switch that's right in the front. You just hit that and you're in manual. You don't have focus peaking with this like you do with the Z9 or any of the mirrorless bodies, or even the D850 had focus peaking, and it's awesome. If I wanted to track something, I'd just hit the button when I was doing video. I would hit the button and it would just track it. And I thought that was really awesome for video with the D850. This is old tech. It doesn't have any of that and it only shoots in 1080. But can you get some great stuff with it? Oh, of course, man. And it's a lot of fun. This is mine. And it's funny going between all these different cameras and having fun with it is I've fallen in love with the art of photography all over again. I get to share with you guys. If you have any questions, man, please leave them below and I'll do my very, very best to answer. I don't answer the questions as often as I should. I try and do it every other day. There's just a lot there, and to sit there for an hour or two and go through all the questions. I try and do it a day after I put up a new one. Sometimes I just forget because I schedule them in advance to give them time to cook in the YouTube system. They look better to me that way. But all these different photos that I've been showing you throughout this, comparing the Z9 and the D800, I think just really shows you that if you take your time and you learn how to control your camera, you really can get some great photos no matter what camera system you're using. Sony, man, their autofocus is insane. It really, really is. And I think their innovation and technology that they're pushing is pushing the other makers. I think Canon is right behind them. Well, I don't know what they're coming out with next. And I have all these wonderful lenses that I purchased. And if we were to do an event, I would take my Canon R5 and the 70-200. I think that is a phenomenal lens, and that'll be coming out in the summertime for the dragonflies. This one, well, I'm gonna be shooting this over and over and over, and yeah, I'm gonna go back to Nikon for a while. A great camera is a great camera, no matter who makes it. Some people really like the Fuji color. I met one guy who was a photojournalist a while back, and this was probably about 2 years ago, and he used to love Fuji. My daughter for Christmas wants Fuji film. She's a photographer, and she shoots film beyond me and does events and is doing really, really well at it, and that's really cool. Well, I think I've rambled on enough. Yes, I am going back to Nikon for a while, not because I think there's anything wrong with the other camera systems, but just because I'm having fun and it's making me happy. I still haven't pulled the trigger on the Z9. I may wait just a little bit longer to see how my finances shake out come January. We'll see. It's just a click away. And then 2 days later I have it. A lot of people seem to have it in stock right now, and I'll probably get mine from, I don't know, someplace on the internet. Unless Best Buy has it down the street or something. Anyway, JonnyPink, man, you guys have a fantastic day out there, whatever it is you're gonna do. Yes, I have my favorite, and this was always my very, very favorite camera. When or if this dies, I doubt it, these things are workhorses, you can probably drop them in. It was fun to shoot in the rain. It was awesome. JonnyPink, man, you guys have a fantastic day out there, whatever it is you're gonna do. And yes, I'm home, so I can drink all the scotch I want. It's loud in here too. And I haven't done a studio setup like this because, well, look at that, man. Isn't that just a beautiful camera? The D800. We'll see you guys.